I'm backing up my truck, I'm gonna hook it up, loading up my boat with all my gear. I've been working hard all week, trying to make ends meet, spending time wishing I was fishing. Oh, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing. Gather up your gear and come along. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing.
This is Terry Wickstrom. Join Karen Cullum, Greg Plaggio, and me as we take you to some of our favorite fishing spots from Colorado to Minnesota, the Arctic Circle to Central America and beyond, as we revisit episodes of Mountain States Fishing and Angling Adventures Television on the best of fishing with Terry Wickstrom.
Hey, we're out here today. We're in northern Colorado at Horsetooth Reservoir, just outside of Fort Collins. I'm with Dan Swanson. Dan, it's great to fish with you.
It's good to fish with you finally.
Yeah, we've known each other a long time. We've fished side by side in other boats. We've been involved in seminars together. We've been involved in a lot of things together, but never actually got in the same boat and fished together.
I don't believe we've ever done that.
Dan is on the professional walleye trail. By the time you see this, you'll be in your, well, at least your second season. If they may see a rerun, it may be your third or fourth season. But
that's right.
Started out with a bang. Dan been fishing tournaments for quite some time.
That's correct. Since '96, I was fishing the Colorado Walleye Association, the Wyoming Walleye Association, and then 2001 was my first year in the RCL.
And professional in 2001, and now he's fishing the PWT, and you had quite a start.
I had a great start.
Tied for Rookie of the Year your first year in the PWT, cashed in how many tournaments?
I got a check in 6 out of 9, finished a top 20 in 5, and 3 of those were top 10s.
And we're both on the Crestliner Pro staff.
That's right.
And we've known each other and gotten to work together for a long time. You're going to love these boats. And then while we're here, we want to show you what they've done to the park. They actually redid the whole park. The marina's been redone. We're going to take you over and show you the marina. There's great campgrounds here. We want to show you those campgrounds and the facilities here. And they've actually built some cabins. We're going to interview the ranger, possibly, we hope, and talk a little bit about the lake and just show you something that maybe the rebirth of a lake that's really great in the beginning of what could be great fishing for you if you get a chance to come up to northern Colorado and fish.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
Let's get out and do some fishing, then we'll take you back and show you the facilities in a little while.
Okay. Hey, I got you.
I think I'm caught in your trolling motor.
Oh, you're caught in my line.
All right. Well, way to start. You know, I've been
first
out
fish
here.
of the day.
That's not too bad. We've been fishing for all of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He said, you know, he got out here a little ahead of me before we got started today. He said, it's been a little slow, he said. So we get out here and second bite, nice horsetooth walleye. You know, this lake, Dan, is just a year or two ago, this lake was a puddle.
Yes, it was. It was about 35 feet lower than it is right now.
Yeah,
because the weed line is in about 35 feet, and then I'm talking some weeds.
We're in Horsetooth Reservoir, and they virtually lowered this below the dead pool level so they could repair the dam, and the forage had crashed just before this. So this lake, probably up till just a year or two ago, had really gone through some changes.
It had, and the fish that were in here were so skinny, and these fish are healthy.
And so what's happened? Yeah. So what's happened now? They rebuilt these dams, and while the water was down for 3 years, that gave the chance for this brush to grow up around the edges and grass. They restocked, go ahead, I'll let you steer the boat. They restocked the lake with forage. They put in shad, which have taken so far, and they took while the water was low. And we don't know if they're going to stay while the water's up or not, but right now there's a lot of shad in here. They've got shiners here and a great perch population. And by the way, those perch are great to fish for too. And so that walleye was good and healthy.
It was a very nice walleye.
And a lot of holdover walleyes. And they're just going to keep stocking it now, and it's going to get better and better, and this hopefully will return to its glory days.
I think it will. There were some really big fish in here the last few years.
It was nothing to catch a 10-pounder here at one time.
It really wasn't. I've seen
By the
a lot
way, I
of
think
10,
I really
12
caught that fish because my line was tangled right on your jig.
That could be.
So I think he was attacking my presentation, and you just happened to
It's kind of interesting how I noticed it first.
Good job. Way to start. I mean, like I said, we've been fishing for all of 10 minutes. Well, you know, Dan, these Crestliner boats, just to tell you what, you've been with Crestliner for how long now?
2001 I've been on the team.
And it's just, they're awesome boats, aren't they?
I love this boat.
You know, Crestliner, I've run, my first Crestliner was in the 60s, believe it or not. And I did get away from for a while in the 70s and 80s for a little while, but I came back in the 90s and I've been with Crestliner ever since. And I just think they're an awesome boat and a great company. The all-welded hull, and the new tournament series is such a fishing platform.
It's got a lot of room in it, it's got a lot of storage, and you get a lot of stuff, so you have to get that storage.
And I love the big front deck that we can both stand up and fish off. We're not crowded at all. I mean, there's room to, we could do a little exercise. And but you know what, you can get up and walk around. They're stable. They don't list a lot. They're just great boats.
Tough day of fishing.
Well, you're coming off your first year in the PWT.
It's my first year. I've had a really good year.
Well, I'd say
a lot of fun.
Tied for Rookie of the Year. Lost in what, the second tiebreaker?
Yeah, second tiebreaker. Ted Murdan had a 6th place finish. I had a 9th place finish. But it was kind of a disappointment, but it was also darn exciting, and it's fishing. It's the way it is.
How many tournaments did you fish this year total?
I fished 9 tournaments. I had 5 money finishes, 6 money finishes. I had 5 top 20s, 3 of which were in the top 10.
It's pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome year. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Wait, let me get this fish here. You don't like that hook set, do you? He always teases me. He says, you can tell he started out as a bass fisherman because the way I set the hook. It's just another cookie cutter fish. Another one about the same as what we've been catching. They're all about the same. But you know what?
Beautiful fish.
Oh, they're just
healthy.
They're good, solid, healthy. They're firm, a lot of meat on them. Night crawler and a jig is all we're using. In fact, let's get this back in the water. Once you reel yours up, we'll come on using it. This is just kind of a pinkish jig, but the chartreuse has actually been a little better.
Chartreuse and orange, and I just thread the crawler on all the way up to the collar and just let it dangle.
And no plastic or anything else, just a jig and a night crawler. You know, sometimes you can make this way too a lot fancier than you need to be.
Yeah, this basic hook, line, and sinker.
That's exactly what it is. And so you don't need a lot of fancy equipment to come out here. You should be able to catch walleyes in months and years to come on Horsetooth with jigs all year long.
Yeah, that's really what's been changed in this lake. This used to be pretty much a night bite lake because of the smelt. And now that we've got some different forage in here, it's actually turning into a better day bite lake.
It really is. And you should be able to come out here with a jig and a night crawler. Not only you catch walleyes, but you're going to catch a lot of smallmouth bass and some perch, and it's a great place to come out and just have a lot of action. And these fish are going to grow rapidly, and I'd say by the time you watch the show, there's going to be a lot of good eating-sized fish in this lake.
Yes, there will.
Let's go back and see if we can
catch some more.
You got one?
Yeah, I got one.
Another monster?
Another monster. They're all the same.
But it's fun though. You know, the action's pretty steady. It's actually been a little slow today. We had to work. We're out here. What are we? The 3rd week of October? 3rd or 4th? It's October 22nd or something like that. So we're out here, and but they're all just good. I thought I had a bite there for a minute. They're all just good, healthy fish. So you gonna make it?
Yeah, he looks like he's fine.
Good. We're fishing right here. We're in 43 feet of water. In fact, we were talking that this lake probably has turned over. The fishing was actually better a few days ago, and we're thinking the lake probably turned over, and it actually settled, so you're not seeing the debris you normally see with turnover. But the temperature and oxygen levels are probably constant throughout the whole lake. That's allowing these fish to be anywhere. We've caught them in 20 feet, in 40 feet, and the way we're fishing, that's kind of unusual for a lake like this.
Generally, I try to find a lot of fish before I start jigging. But we've been working them in spots where I caught fish earlier in the week, and the fact that they're still here after turned over is kind of amazing.
And maybe it didn't turn. You know, we can't really tell, but we did have a cold front come through yesterday, and in the fall that normally doesn't affect them as much. You get these cold fronts that come through in the spring, and it just shuts things down. It's just almost like don't even try. But in the fall, usually these fish are getting ready. You know, we're getting towards the end of October. They need to fatten up. They know the water is going to cool off. So usually there's kind of a feeding binge going on right now, actually. And but you know, this is a new lake to everybody now.
Yeah, it's learning it all over again.
It really is. We don't, you know, and all the things you think you know about fishing, every body of water has its own personality. Hey, we're going to get you back out in the water in just a minute. I know you want to see more walleye fishing, but I'm with Mark Coughlin. Mark, pleasure to spend time with you again. You're the manager here at Horsetooth Reservoir.
Yeah, for the north area of Larimer County.
Larimer County Parks is the
Parks
entity that really runs Horsetooth Reservoir. And this reservoir has been through quite a transformation in the last few years, hasn't it?
It has.
I mean, you went to a point where this used to be one of the premier walleye lakes in Colorado, and it was not uncommon to hear about the 10-pound walleyes being caught here. Big walleyes, a huge population of smelt, and of course it's always been a popular boating and camping destination. There's been a course of events that kind of changed that, but things are on the upswing and it's looking good. The smelt crashed, and the walleye population kind of took a dive.
It did. We were real fortunate that when we had that lag in the fish cycle, that the Bureau of Reclamation wanted to do the safety dams project on Horsetooth that lowered the water levels to where we could get down on the bottom of the reservoir, do some fish habitat. It allowed for some tremendous growth in the bottom of the reservoirs to get kind of that new reservoir effect to take hold. So it's been really positive. Something that turned out to be hugely negative, turning really a boon for fishing.
Well, I'll tell you exactly right. What's happened was when the fishing was just hitting a low ebb here, they needed to do dam work, and that's the project you're talking about. So they drained it down to, well, dead pool virtually.
Yeah, what they call dead storage, where the reservoir literally turned into 3 separate lakes.
It was 3, and if you had a chance to come out here, if you're from the northern Colorado area and saw the reservoir, it was 3 little lakes with a little channel between them, and a couple of the summers a little more water came in so you could boat a little bit and fish a little bit. And there were holdover fish, but it really wasn't the place to come anymore because it didn't have, but while it was down, you talked, what kind of fish habitat improvement did you do?
We're able to work with some of the local bass clubs in the Colorado Division of Wildlife to put in habitat structures, sink in dead trees, make a lot of small cubby holes along the rock cliffs that were below the water. And the best part is we were down over 100 feet, so it allowed us to build structures at different water levels. Because our reservoir fluctuates like most reservoirs in Colorado annually, up to 50 feet a year is pretty typical for us. So it allowed us to put structure at varying different levels in the reservoir, which benefit the fish throughout the year. So that was a huge positive for us.
Well, in addition to that, while it was drawn down, you've got this weed growth that came in and brush and things that came in. Now the reservoir filled up. In fact, the beginning of this year, it filled to the fullest it's ever been. And every indication is now you'll go back to more of a normal cycle of water allowing, but we're hoping for it's going to maintain a very good level.
Absolutely. The projections are that it should maintain right about high water line. Then every year it fluctuates about 30 to 40 feet in a year. So we're looking at average years, assuming we get an average snowfall or greater, we're hopefully we'll get a good 3-4 year run here.
But while the water's down, the fishing's coming back, the walleyes are going to be good, the smallmouth bass are going to be good. This lake, but the whole recreational base of this lake is back. I mean, what are some of the other things people come out here to do?
Yeah, again, we've really been able to use the water being down to take advantage of that. We've constructed 2 new boat ramps. We rehabbed all our existing boat ramps. We made them wider. We made them longer, farther out in the water. We were able to put in a real low water boat ramp so we could always reach the water. No matter what level we're at. We were able to redo the marina and the marina parking lot, and we added about 25 new campsites, electrical, nice big pull-through sites with electricity that are right on the water's edge. So there's really a great advantage now that we have a lot more quality sites right on the water. We could pull your boat up to your campsite for the weekend, and it's really worked out pretty well.
How many campsites do you have here?
Total, we have about 129 sites.
So, and do they fill up pretty much in the summer? Do you have to get reservations ahead of time?
We do have a reservation system now that you could call in ahead of time up to 3 months in advance, and all of our sites are on the reservation system.
Is that both by phone or web? Or
there's a phone number and a website.
And we'll put those up here on the screen for you, so we have the phone number and the website in case you want to make a reservation here. So you've improved and added campsites, you've improved and added boat ramps, you've got fish structure down there. I mean, this is like a reborn lake, like a new reservoir. And people don't come out here just to fish. I mean, water skiing is popular out here in the summertime. Jet skis are popular out here at times. There's just recreational boating, camping, hiking. But one of the gems you really did was you added these cabins.
Yeah, the cabins we added have been really popular. They're really cozy, one-room cabins that sleep up to 5 people. They have a nice place for a tent pad out front, a picnic table, and a fire grate as well, so people could enjoy it with the family and have the tent outside with the kids maybe and the family inside. So it's really worked out pretty well.
Yeah, if you don't have an RV or a tent, or you'd rather have a little more solid structure, these are great. And we're going to show you the inside of these cabins. They've got sleeping accommodations. They're both air conditioned and heated. You've got bathroom facilities right here. There's no running water or shower here, but there's sleeping facilities, but they're just clean and nice. Your kind of pet on these was the deck out front, wasn't it?
Exactly. One of the big demands we have is a nice covered deck, for to get out of the sun, get out of the weather if it happens. A nice place to hang out with the family at night when you come back in. We built them right on the water, that way you could pull your boat up right to the water, right to the cabin, not have to pull your boat out every night. So that was important to us as well.
And you get a picnic table and a fireplace with them. And you got how many of these now? How many cabins now?
We have 3 in, and we have 4 coming this winter and spring. So we'll have 7 total that you could reserve through the reservation system.
So by the time you see this, it's fall right now. By the time this airs, there'll be 7 of these cabins here, and they're not expensive. You told me in the fall they're $30 a night.
$30 a night.
Wow,
which is a great price.
I mean, that's incredible. And how much in the summer in your peak times?
$50 a night in the peak times.
So $50, they sleep 5, so $10 a person. And whether it's a family or a group of fishermen,
exactly,
or just a bunch of people that want to get together, and even if for the day, I mean, to have a cabin where you can get out of the elements a little bit and rest and have the kids playing and all that, just what a great opportunity. So we're really excited to see Horsetooth just rebounding and back where it is, and the fishing's going to just get better and better. Mark, it's really great. I'm so glad to see this. It's a tremendous resource to have up here in northern Colorado.
Yeah, thank you. I think so as well. We've had a lot of good opportunities lately to improve it even more, so we hope that people come out and enjoy it.
Horsetooth Reservoir. In fact, the people who don't know how to get it, we should tell them. You take I-25 to the Harmony exit on Fort Collins and just drive west, and you'll run into the lake.
Road comes right up to it.
Drives right into it. You can't miss it. And I got to get back out and catch some more fish with Dan.
All right.
So hey, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Marking fish.
Are you really?
Yeah.
They've all been just right twins, like this one probably is. It feels a little stronger.
Nice fish.
But you know what? They feel tougher. Sometimes these little ones will fool you. They hit so aggressive. It's the same size as the other ones.
Need the net on him, or are you going to be
I think I can get them. If we lose them, we're letting them go anyway.
That's true.
A fish in this lake has to be 18 inches to keep, right? Then what is it, 4 fish, 18 inches you can keep here?
It's 18 inches. I'm not exactly sure what the limit is because I keep so few fish.
Yeah, I don't either. That's why I'd ask you. But these fish are probably, that's probably a 15-inch fish.
He's over 16, I think.
Oh yeah, that's about a 16-incher. And look how fat and healthy. That is a little plumper than some of the others. They're just really
nice
good.
Shape.
Oh, they're just nice, healthy, solid fish. And these fish, next year, every one of these fish we catch is going to be over 18 inches. By the time this airs, these fish are all going to be keeper size. But this, let me get that back in the water. One of the things about walleye fishing in Colorado, very few sustaining populations of walleyes. Carter Reservoir has some, but there's some strict regulations on it.
Right.
Horsetooth used to, and then when the smelt came, that went away. This used to be the only real self-sustaining substantial population of walleyes in the state. But we don't know what it's going to be like now because it's a brand new lake. It's got all different forage and all different kinds of species in it, so we're going to have to find out. But one thing the state of Colorado does have a tremendous walleye stocking program, and that's why we have such good walleye fishing in Colorado. We would never be able to maintain it with natural reproduction. In fact, the number of walleyes we catch per surface acres in Colorado outstrips what they do in Minnesota many, many times over, and they do some supplementary stocking too. But that's because of the quality of stocking. A lot of people think, I catch all these small walleyes in Colorado. There's some big walleyes in Colorado.
Yes, there are.
The 6th largest walleye in the world came out of Colorado.
That's right.
There's double-digit walleyes in Pueblo. There's double-digit, 10-pound plus walleyes in Cherry Creek and Chatfield and Stanley Lake. And then a short drive to Glendale, McConaughey, out of state. There's going to be double-digit walleyes in this lake again.
And there will be. This was a really great lake. Lots of big fish in here. And I bet there's still a few. There's still some big holdover fish in here. There's some 10-pound fish in here yet because the lake wasn't completely drained. But it's just going to get better and better. By the time you see this, you can get out and catch some. You're going to be able to take a couple home. And the one disservice that God did to walleyes is he made them taste so darn good. They're not only a great tournament fish, but boy, are they good to eat. And they're fun. They're fun to figure out.
I tell you what, it's getting late. We probably should call it a day.
Yeah, I think so.
I've had a great time fishing with you. It's good to see you, and good luck next year on the tour and years to come. And I kind of like to think I've been there as you came along, and maybe had a little hand in helping you get there a little bit, because it's been fun to know you and work with you and stuff.
You have been there, and I've appreciated it.
And
everyone's been just wonderful.
It's been a great time. Hope you enjoyed fishing with us today, and you learned a little bit about Horsetooth Reservoir. What a great place. It's a beautiful lake. It's just, you know, just on the outskirts, the edge. I couldn't say that. I tried to say outskirts and edge at the same time. Just on the outskirts of Fort Collins. I mean, virtually, you know, 2 minutes out of town. It's about 6 miles long. It's going to be full of water as long as we have some snowpack. They've rebuilt the dams. It's got a variety of fish. It's got perch, it's got walleyes, it's got trout. You said there's some crappies in here?
I've caught some crappies, I've caught some bluegills this year.
And it's just a wonderful lake. It's a great recreational. Whether you're fishing or just love outdoor recreation, they've got the cabins here now that you've seen. They've got a great campgrounds. Just a wonderful facility. Bring your family out and enjoy it. If you fish, come out and fish. And join us next week on Mountain States Fishing.